The following program may contain mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. To those of you tuning into this episode of the WOSHL podcast, thank you. For those who are watching for the first time, welcome. The views and opinions of this podcast are mine and mine alone. They may or may not reflect the same views and opinions of the entire Western Ontario Super Hockey League, all people considered. However, that being said, I declare that I will continue to work tirelessly hard to bring this podcast to you. I will continue to deliver important information, highlights from any games that are streamed, and relay that information with honesty, with enthusiasm, with professionalism, and with integrity. I will do all of these things with the same care and dedication to the WOSHL League as I have done in the time that I've been involved with this senior hockey circuit. If you have any questions or concerns about anything I have ever said on here or while doing play-by-play during games, please feel free to contact me. Your host, Andrew Rogers. Okay. Hello, everybody. Andrew Rogers here, the host of the WOSHL podcast. This is episode number 31. And as you guys can see from the graphic over top, it comes at a no better time in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. Game 7 is upon us. Alvinson Killer Bees, Tillsonburg Thunder, and just man, is it going to be fun. Got to give kudos to Darren Metcalf of Metcalf Photography for the picture that you see on your screen now. Just unbelievable stuff from Darren there. And like I say, I mean, captured this moment in particular perfectly. It was taken prior to the puck drop of Game 6, which saw the Killer Bees in a 3-2 hole, able to pull out a victory 6-2 to force Game 7 at the Thunderdome this evening and at 8:30, and a sellout. It's going to be an absolute madhouse tonight. From what I understand, Trey Hamilton and John Delaney will have the call for you live on Sportfy. If you cannot make the game, make sure to watch. It will be an absolute classic. It really will be. I know that the Armor Ale in Alvinston is also doing a watch party there. So if you can't make the game from Alvinston, go on down to the Armor Ale and watch the game. They will have it on the screens or on a projection screen or something of that nature for the game tonight at the Thunderdome, 8:30, the puck drop between the Alvinston Killer Bees and the Tillsonburg Thunder. Like I say, I'm your host, Andrew Rogers. This WOSHL podcast, as always, is sponsored by VMS Sportswear and Apparel. Great to have them alongside for these podcasts and for our league. They've been tremendous, and obviously all the jerseys and everything else you see, all by VMF Sportswear and Apparel, who do tremendous, tremendous work. And can't say enough great things about them and their product that they develop. I want to start off the podcast here with, you guys saw it off the hop there. The legendary broadcaster of hockey and an absolute staple for most kids or most people in my age group and my generation, grew up listening to this man call hockey on CBC, Hockey Night in Canada, and various other big named hockey events. Canada Olympics and Canada Cups, and just absolute staple in the hockey community and the hockey world. And again, for like I say, people my age, we grew up with this man on our TVs and the limited channels that we may or may not have gotten. And when you put on CBC on a Saturday night, and for me watching my beloved Maple Leafs, there was no the watching of Hockey Night in Canada, watching of Leaf games, synonymous with that was Harry Neale and Bob Cole. And Bob Cole, unfortunately, tragically passing away at the age of 90 on this past Thursday, and just shaking the hockey community all across the world. You know, it's you've left your mark when you've essentially you leaving this world, and your tragic passing has rocked the entirety of a country, not just the province of Newfoundland, which he was revered so much out there, his homeland of Newfoundland, but Canada as a whole. And he just, this profound effect that he had on everybody that knew him or watched him or he worked alongside, just absolutely crazy. So, for me, yeah, big childhood hero. Just mentioned to a point of fact here. This past Monday for Game 6, I was down in Alvinston doing Game 6 with Joel Campbell. And at the beginning of the broadcast, I wanted to give, I was, the thought was to give an homage or pay a tribute to Bob Cole. And I thought I was doing that, but then it turns out I was wrong on that, because Bob Cole did not coin that phrase, "Good evening, hockey fans in the United States and Newfoundland," or "Hello, Canada and hockey fans in the United States and Newfoundland." That was coined a phrase from Foster Hewitt. But the story gets a little bit deeper there, because Bob Cole, it turns out, got a lot of his inspiration from Foster Hewitt, and basically tried to perfect what he had started Foster Hewitt back when in the day. So the story is just fascinating in all aspects. But for me, Bob Cole was such a staple in my household. Back when times were simpler, being a diehard Leafs fan, there was obviously lots of heartbreak, but there were lots of epic moments for me as a child, watching my beloved Leafs and listening to the calls from Bob Cole, Doug Gilmour in '93 against St. Louis. The playoff runs for the Maple Leafs from 1999 to 2004. Some of the greatest Bob Cole moments for me as a Leaf fan came from the mouths of Bob Cole and Harry Neale, just a staple on CBC. Fascinating stuff. One of the biggest ones that I keep consistently going back and playing is Steve Thomas's winner against the Ottawa Senators, where Sergei Berzin's coming down the one side and he feeds Steve Thomas, who scores to win the game for Toronto. And that call from Bob Cole, for me, is like the greatest. That's the first thing I think of, is that call for Steve Stumpy Thomas, number 32, Toronto Maple Leafs, back in that time. Just an unbelievable stuff. A lot of people associate Bob Cole with the call of the 2002 Canada Salt Lake City Olympic gold medal win. For the first time in 50 years, Canada wins the Olympic gold medal, and Bob Cole's iconic call in that game. And most notably out of all of it is the Joe Sakic goal that ends up clinching the gold medal for Canada against USA in 2002. Unreal stuff. And then obviously, yeah, you can go back further. There are a lot of great calls. Steve Yzerman against the St. Louis Blues in '96. Mario Lemieux against the Minnesota North Stars. Mario against the Boston Bruins. Same type of deal. But everything Bob Cole did, it seemed to leave a mark and leave a lasting impression that people still remember today. And that's just so fascinating to me. And, again, I know this seems strange, though. It's because it's like, Andrew, why are you talking about this stuff? Why? No one's going to watch this that is going to, get this to somebody that's going to be of interest or point of interest on this. I understand that. But for me, I've had the privilege and the absolute honor to be able to do play-by-play for senior hockey. And it has been a remarkable experience for me, and one that is just so amazing and so fulfilling. The thing that I love about being able to do play by play and doing hockey games, live hockey games, and be able to broadcast them in a play by play capacity. The thing that I love about it is that for those 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours, however long the game lasts, it's an opportunity for me to put the rest of my life on hold and fully embrace what is happening on the ice and be able to transform, I guess, into this being, this person that's able to do play by play for you, the viewer. And it's just I'm so grateful to be able to do it because it brings me so much joy and so much energy and so much passion. And it just allows me to really get into it. And I mean, again, I've had plenty of people that I've looked to and heard over the years that have done play by play before that I've heard, and I've been like, man, that's really cool, you know? Um, the big one, obviously, like I say, Bob Cole is the first one for me. Um, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph doing Leafs games on the radio. When I was a kid, I used to tape them on a cassette tape, and then I'd listen to them at school the next day. Pretty wild stuff, but I listened to a lot of those games on the radio on the AM dial because we couldn't watch, like I couldn't watch the game on the basic cable or whatever TV. And so yeah, I would basically have to improvise. And if I had to listen to the game or whatever on the AM radio, I was all about it. But yeah, guys like Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph, for me, big. Joe Bowen, iconic for me, big inspiration. Bob Cole, big inspiration there. Jim Houston, oh man, I didn't think it could get much better than Bob Cole. And to the credit and I'm not saying this to disrespect Jim Houston because he's no Bob Cole. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, Jim Houston for me. So I listened to a lot of Jim Houston, then he transitioned into the lead guy for the Leafs games. But I first heard Jim Houston when I was playing EA Sports games, NHL EA Sports titles on PlayStation or PlayStation 2 or whatever have you. But iconic stuff. Just fascinating stuff. And like I say, it's just throughout the years, obviously, yeah, you hear different guys. Rick Jeanneret. I know Trey Hamilton's got a lot of love for Rick Jeanneret. And, again, his calls absolutely iconic for the Buffalo Sabres. And again, today I look at Chris Cuthbert, who does a tremendous job, and he's been around the industry for so long. And I love listening to him do games because of how passionate and how into it he gets. The other one I mentioned this to Trey Hamilton because he said this at the end of, I believe it was game 5 in Tilsonburg. So Tilsonburg comes back and they score late in the third period to tie it up and then eventually win in overtime. But one of his calls was very reminiscent of oh my goodness, I'm gonna Gord Miller. Thank God I remember that. Gord Miller of TSN. It was very reminiscent to me of when he called Canada's World Juniors and Jordan Eberle scoring against the Russians late in the third period off of one faceoff to tie the game. And his call was, "Can you believe it?" And then, of course, Pierre Maguire, as we all know, said, "Yes, I can." Anyways, the point is that I mentioned to Trey that it reminded me of that, and he thought that was pretty cool. But again, all this is basically to say when I do games, I just absolutely love doing hockey games and being able to do play by play. And I get a lot of my inspiration from those individuals. But again, today on this day, we are doing this podcast in remembrance of Bob Cole, who passed away this past Thursday at the age of 90. And he will be missed and he will be remembered forever. And I hope that the next generations and the next generations can continue to appreciate him as much as I know that the people in my current generation do. And again, thank you, Bob Cole, and sympathies and condolences to your family and the hockey world who is hurting because of this, guaranteed. So from that, I want to shift gears. So like I say, this podcast is basically and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you highlights. I put together highlight packs of games 4, 5, and 6 for you. And then obviously we'll get you teed up for Game 7, which happens tonight at 8:30 at the Thunderdome. No interviews on this week's edition of the podcast, however. A lot of things were going on this week, and with the game on Monday and then the 4-day layover between games. And I think a lot of it too is that I didn't necessarily want to have players come on this I wanted to respect them trying to focus up for Game 7. So that's kind of the approach I took to this. The other thing is too is next week we will have a season wrap podcast. Hopefully I'll get some guests on there. If you want to come on for that, reach out to me. But I want to make sure that drops next week, and no later than the week after. But again, stay tuned to the WOSHL podcast Facebook page for more details on that. Yeah, like I say, it's just going to be an absolute banger of a Game 7 here tonight in Tillsonburg. I know I'm going down. I don't know what the role, if I'm going to be playing any, will be, but again, we'll keep posted for updates on that. But anyways, let's get to the video highlights, and then we'll come back on the other side.
So Grant Spence, obviously Craig Spence's older brother, played here last season and the year before, and was just a dynamite electric player for the Alveston Killer Bees. And as the Killer Bees take the ice here, obviously with heavy hearts, Craig Spence from the Chatham-Kent area, obviously ties to Blenheim. He was the captain for the Blenheim Blades and assistant captain for the Chatham Maroons. And from what I understand, he was on track to be eventually an Alveston Killer Bee. So again, heavy hearts all around for this all-important Game 4.
Sagrot responding with a fantastic performance on Saturday night, doing what he needed to do and keeping his team in it. And Tillsonburg found ways to score, so it's going to be a great goaltending matchup. Not to mention the offensive work and firepower we know both teams are capable of. What do you make of the offensive showdown tonight, Andrew? What are you looking for?
Well, I noticed a seismic shift from Games 2 to Games 3, especially how Tillsonburg did a much better job neutralizing Brennan Veazey after a 5-goal performance in Game 2. Only had one in Game number 3. Tillsonburg doing a much better job. However, they are without playoff leading scorer for them, Brandon Kudo, who had a hat trick in Game number 3. He is out of the lineup, and his absence will be noticeable, no question about it. The backhand in the corner, nicely checked by Brzezinski. To the middle, deflected away by Sagrot. Feezy's got it to Freifogel at the line. Freifogel across McGowan, he's got room. Pass! Oh, Feezy missed! He put it well wide on the blocker side. That was unbelievable. What a pass from Owen McGowan.
It was a great opportunity. Unfortunately, this was something else that cost the Bees in Game 3, and that's that slight delay on the shot. If we can get that off faster, for sure that's in the net.
This one's across. Here's Feezy again. Shoots off a body. Shot scored! Wow!
What a goal! I mean, what can you say? Fantastic save by Matt Sagrot off the shoulder. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, puck goes off the shoulder, off the glass behind him, back out in front, and banged right in. Is that how you saw it, Andrew?
That was a single up the middle is what that was. Some plays it across. It's intercepted by Freifogel. In across the line they come. McEwen shoots, save Sagrot. That's a big stop.
Dangerous puck, too, up on edge there.
McEwen's got it again in the middle. Pruder saved by Sagrot again. My goodness, 2 big stops in the later seconds.
Fantastic saves by Sagrot. Any one criticism, he gets a complete look at that, and it goes glove side. I mean, the two things.
Jamie Forsland with a blast at the horn, and Aiden Pruder gives him a word about that because, well, again, that's one of those unwritten rules that you don't do if it's a whistle or the buzzer.
In fairness to Forsland, and everybody knows and in fairness to Forsland, I mean, I got no dog in this fight. I am the Killer Bees color commentator. I think Forsland actually made contact with the puck before the buzzer, but there's no way that puck was going to end up in the net before the buzzer. So.
Welcome back, everyone. Joel Campbell alongside myself, Andrew Rogers. And we're ready for period number 2 here in the WOSHL Super League Cup. Game number 4, Killer Bees lead in the best of 7. 2 games to 1. They lead on the scoreboard 1-0.
That's right. I just gave him a little scoring recap right before you came up to the booth here, Andrew. With the shot off the shoulder of Matt Sagrot, rebounds off the glass and in front, and it's put home by number 5 for the Killer Bees, Owen McGowan, to give them the 1-0 lead. And as mentioned, the team starting 4-on-4 after the mutual penalties to number 89 for the Bees, the leading playoff scorer, Brennan Feasy, and number 5, Brennan Barletta, the Thunder. So 4-on-4 to get us underway. And I tell you, Andrew, I know we feel the same, but we're hoping for a second period even half as exciting as the first, but maybe with some more scoring for the teams, obviously.
Well, the other thing to mention here, Joel, too, minute and 19 seconds of 4-on-4 with Feasy and Barletta in the box. So Feasy obviously not available for this, which makes the Killer Bees so potent on the 4-on-4.
This side, and we'll see what happens here, but Tillsonburg keeps playing that way. Eventually, I think they're going to get nailed with a 2-minute penalty.
Andrew Rogers, Joel Campbell here at the Hive in Alvinston for Game 4 WOSHL Super League Cup Final. Best of 7 series, Alvinston leading 2 games to 1. Look out, here come the Thunder. Braden Auben with it now, number 9, in across the line, backhand toward the net. Fitzmaurice centering, scores! Wow, what a setup! Fitzmaurice to Kyle Baker, who scores in his return to the lineup after a 1-game absence, and we are tied at 1.
Absolutely fantastic goal.
To put the puck past Sagrot, ends up drawing a penalty to put us at 4-on-4. Barletta trying to keep it in, can't. It's a 2-on-1. McEwen and Feasy. Feasy! Stopped by Sagrot, what a save. They score!
There it is.
And the net is off. Wow.
Tremendous setup.
Wow. So Feasy gets denied by Sagrot, stays with the puck, puts it out to Sprovero, who's all alone in the slot, and he beats Sagrot low to the blocker side. Sagrot immediately complaining that the net was off, which it was, but not whistled down, so it's a goal in the regardless.
Yeah, a couple things. I didn't see how the net came off. There was no real collision or physical play that way, so I don't know if it came off when he pushed on it. However, interestingly enough, where it came off was not incidental to the play.
Right.
We're busy, getting tired. Make them work for it. Get some traffic in front of them, generate some chances, control the puck now.
Baker taken down off the puck, 22 seconds left in the Alvinston power play. Here's Rylan Bowers. Across. Feasy. Down to Bowers. Freifogel was taken down. There's a shot. They score! Rylan Bowers! Through traffic. Beats Matt Sagrot. And the Killer Bees have extended their lead. It's 3-1.
And I just finished saying right before that, either we got to get it off faster or get some traffic there in front of the goaltender. That's what happened. We saw earlier a couple pucks Sagrot couldn't see. Close the gap here and make it a 1-goal hockey game again.
So yeah, warning being issued to the Thunder bench here. One of the associate coaches. Shot scores! Jamie McQueen through traffic finds the back of the net, and the Thunder score on the power play. And it's a 1-goal game with 2:07 left here in the second. Wow, it can change just like that.
Tillsonburg didn't need much time. 4 seconds, that's all they needed on that power play, returning the favor. So after Alvinston generates some traffic in front of Matt Sagrot, and we're able to get the goal scored by Rylan Bowers, coming back the other way, the Tillsonburg Thunder through traffic put one past Nolan DeConing on the power play. Now it's a 3-2 game. Just left here holding the 1-goal lead here late in the second.
15.3 left. It's a 3-2 Alvinston lead. Face-off in the Killer Bees zone. It'll be McQueen and Perry on the draw, and it's going to be carried out by Alvinston. Pruder ahead on the backhand. He has the lane. In the middle, Sagrot makes the save. And it's up the glass, and it's out of the zone, and that'll do it for period 2. So, after 40 minutes of play, Alvinston with a 3-2 lead to the dressing room for the second intermission. They lead in the best of 7, 2 games to 1. Joel, through 40, thoughts?
So we saw more scoring, obviously, after the 1-0 start to the game.
Whatever we're going to get into here in the third period. So, if this should be the last game in Alvinston, because there is a possibility the Alvics win tonight and win tomorrow to wrap the whole season. I want to let you know first and foremost, this has been really fun, me and you doing these games. But I want to let you know that I've had a conversation with Alvinston, and you're their guy 100% next year. So that's your deal. You're the man. I'm basically grooming you, and you're ready. And like I say, it's been fun, but next year it's all yours, buddy.
Well, it's been an honor working with you, Andrew, and I had to call one game by myself back in the Squires series, and it's really something doing it on your own. I got a lot of respect for the guys who call games by themselves and have to do that, but I've really enjoyed calling games here with you. A big part of me as Alvinston's guy hopes this is our last game in Alvinston tonight, and they win tonight and win tomorrow night. Big face-off win by Alvinston there.
Off the glass, it's cleared out by Alvinston. That'll do it for the power play. We're back to even strength here with 7:23 to go here in the third. Alvinston continuing to lead 3-2. Man, this has been an entertaining game.
We haven't had much time to break, have we?
Not really. And then action here in Alvinston. Sheldon Thompson up the ice. He has Abraham. Back to Thompson. Takes it around. Scores! Sheldon Thompson, wrap around goal, and we are tied at 3 here in the Hive.
All night, Sheldon Thompson's looked dangerous defensively, creating chances for his team, and there he catches Nolan DeConing. DeConing not down tight to that post. Much time being spent here in their defensive zone.
Sprovero with it. He'll play it up the boards. Past Feezy, and it's kept in momentarily by the Thunder. Now it's going to be McEwen with it the other way. Chandler allowed to drop down Broadway. The shot was blocked. Dangerous opportunity for the Killer Bees there, but now it's the other way for the Thunder. They're onside by a hair at the line. It's a cross. Barletta shoots. Save DeConing. Rebound. Save again. Oh, 10! Backhand toward the net. Went off of the skate of Jacob Chandler. Past DeConing. And with 3:36 to go, the Thunder have seized the lead. Unbelievable stuff here in Alvinston.
And I got to say, once again, undisciplined defensive puck control led to that. Tacker on. Got to win this face-off and have to create chances now with 103. We know with this team in the playoffs, 103 is an eternity, but you got to get it off.
Up the boards, Fitzmaurice into the middle, look out! Sheldon Thompson with the empty net, scores! Sheldon Thompson puts it home. That makes it a 5-3 game with 55.4 to go. And Joel, by all accounts, it looks like we're going to be a best of 3 heading back to Tillsonburg tomorrow night.
Absolutely. We now know we have a game 6 for sure. It's going to take at least 2 more to solve this series. And if you look at that play, you watch it back on replay, brings the puck back, but if they keep doing this and allow it to do it, it kills the clock.
So, and again, in a series where Alvinston was able to siege away home ice, the Thunder have managed to get it back because it's a best of 3 with 2 Thunder home games.
And it's especially big when you consider the fact number 86, Brandon Kudo, wasn't here tonight. I think you mentioned earlier in the game, right? One of their bigger players. And unfortunately, we're not going to hear the loud, rambunctious Alvinston crowd we've heard in some of the other big nights. Pretty quiet in here now after the Killer Bees faithful watch their teams give up 2 goals with DeConing in net and then a third one on the empty net. And after coming into the third with a 3-2 lead, lose game 4 by a score of 5-3. And now the series is even. It's a best of 3 now.
Here we go, game 5. As mentioned, the initial 4 games solved nothing. Both teams even keel. 2 games apiece. It becomes a best of 3, as both of these two teams saw in their second round semifinal matchups between Tillsonburg and Tilbury, and of course Alvinston taking on the Stratford Fighting Irish. Both of those 2 series came down to a best of 3, and both of these 2 teams won those best of 3s 2 games to none. So somebody's got to lose tonight. We are excited to get the action started. Sagrot in net for the Tillsonburg Thunder. Number 35 had a stellar performance last night. Big reason why the Thunder were able to pull out with the Game 4 win. And DeKoning in net, the opposite 35 for the Killer Bees. He's been sharp in this series. Both goaltenders 2-2 in the series, and we are underway here in Tillsonburg. Spavero in his own end, backhands out to center ice. Forsyth and Perry on the draw, comes free. Faulkner shoots, blocker saves Sagrot. Van Boekel in his own end, turns it over in the middle. That's a bad turnover. Jamison, Freifogel fans on the shot. He broke his stick. Here comes Whalen, charging up the ice. Whalen drops it back McGuffin. McGuffin, wait, shoots. Glove save. Comes free, McGuffin shoots, big stop, rebound loose. Score! Austin Forsyth strikes early. Thunder take the 1-0 lead. The rookie is second in as many games. Early strike there for the Thunder. A bad break for the Bees. A broken stick at the line. Freifogel was about to get a penalty for playing that puck, or attempting to, with the stick as he rolled it towards the Thunder player. Doesn't matter. The penalty is a moot point because the Thunder score on the delayed call and have the 1-0 lead. He grabbed a hold of his stick right before that shot came off the stick of Barletta, which was eventually deflected by McGuffin and nearly a goal. 9 seconds left. Alvinston likes to strike in these last 10 seconds, so we'll see what happens. McEwen, he's on it, chips it, works it free, 5 seconds. Shot Feezy through a screen block. It comes out to the point, 2 seconds. 1 second, Spavero shoots wide. And that'll take care of action here. 20 minutes in tonight. 1-0 the score after the first period of play in favor of your Tillsonburg Thunder. As more antics happen as I was turned away, Van Boekel and McEwen jawing on their way off the ice, as it's pretty much been the same all throughout the series. These two teams heated as always. Stay tuned. You're watching Western Ontario Super Hockey League championship action only on Sporfy. Had a stellar first period, stopping 14 of 14 Killer Bee chances. Crowd congratulating Mike Finley on this year's Leadership Award. Finley, a veteran of the Thunder, 16 seasons with the Tillsonburg Thunder. He was here throughout the dark days, the early days, to when they won it all in 2014, 2015. WOAA double-A champions over Minto. So 4-on-4 for 10 seconds, and then the Bees will start their second power play of the night. McEwen and Forsyth on the draw, tied up. Forsyth wins that one back to Abraham. Abraham dumps it around. Whalen first on it. Tries to make a move. Instead, it's turned over in front. McEwen scores. A bad turnover from the Thunder, and McEwen makes them pay. And we are tied here at the 15:50 mark of the second period, 1 apiece. Hutchison and McEwen on the draw at center ice. Back to even keel. Finley plays it around Barletta. Here's Brendan Barletta starting out. Barletta makes a move. He's tied up. Wyzek gets it in deep. Going after it, Hutchison. DeKoning plays it away from him. Up the wall to McEwen. McEwen stops, ties the puck up, turns it over. There's Tapsel. He can't quite get on it though, and McLean's going to start the other way. McLean makes a nice move. Poked away by Tapsel though, and then Wyzek taken down. Bees looking to get a 2-on-1 in. Spavero draws back. McLean, backhander on, he scores! Robert McLean scores, and the Bees get back-to-back goals to take a 2-1 lead. Lamoureux backhands it off the skates of Forsland. It eventually comes free to Abraham. He chips it up to Tapsel. Tapsel gets it free. Here comes Hutchison. Hutchison a little 2-on-1 with Wyzek. Hutchison shoots. Score! Spencer Hutchison rips it top shelf. Thunder get back within one. Right after the Go Bees goal was getting loud, Hutchison said, shh, silencing the Killer Bees crowd. Thunder right back within one. What a shot from Spencer Hutchison. Back to a one-goal game. Farrell makes a move. Leaves it that time for Tidgewell. Tidgewell gets it up Faulkner, but it's under his stick and turned around that time, and McGuffin couldn't quite get it to O'Ban. Thunder had a chance to get a 2-on-1. Faulkner for Perry. Perry for Tidgewell. Fires. Saves Sagrot. Now McGuffin will be first on this one. McGuffin up for O'Ban. Here comes Braden O'Ban. He's 1-on-3. Makes a move. Gets it to Whalen. Whalen in on the left wing side. Whalen goes behind the net. Wrap around front. Shot. Score! What a pass! Braden O'Ban ties it up at 3. What a shot! What a pass! Baby, we're back to even here at the Thunderdome. He sucks that one up. No rebound. .4 to play here in the second period. McEwen and Knotts on the draw. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Face off, controlled by the Bees. Bavaro just sends it all the way down the ice. That'll be in and wide to Sagrot. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That'll take care of the second period. After 40, an exciting game here in Tillsonburg at the Thunderdome. 3-3, we're even. We'll go to the final 20 minutes to play. Officials ready at center ice. Teams are ready. As mentioned, 25 seconds of power play time for the Thunder at the start of this period. Chandler and Rebery were underway. Johnson sends it in all the way around the kick plate. Bokel worked on by Feezy, gets it up. Here's Fitzmaurice. Mitchell Fitzmaurice in. Fitzmaurice drops back. Rebery waits, shoots. Rebound! Fitzmaurice couldn't tuck it in. Look out, McEwen's behind the defense. Here he comes. McEwen and scores. James McEwen gives the Bees the lead with just 5.5 to play. Barletta took a chance and he came up empty, and Alvidston takes the 4-3 lead. After it, Fitzmaurice for O'Ban. O'Ban out to the point, and it's out of the reach of Barletta, so no icing. I expect Sagrot to more than likely follow them up the ice here after this. Van Bokel off of Feesey. Fitzmaurice for O'Ban. O'Ban goes wide, cuts in, and DeKoning just covers it. Face-off is going to be the left of DeKoning. It'll be O'Ban and Chandler. Fans trying to get into it. Minute 25 to play. Off the draw, Rebery controls in the corner. He's tied up. Comes free, O'Ban shoots. Score! Braden O'Ban! Braden O'Ban! What a shot! What a shot! We are tied! Can you believe it? overtime. Now it's Feasy and McEwen on a 2-on-2. McEwen for Feasy. Feasy shoots. Blocker save. Sagrot. 20 seconds to play. Sent all the way around. Feasy chips it in. Now it's sent towards the middle. Out of everybody's reaching out to center ice. 10 seconds. Tidgewell. Spavero out of everybody's reach. Jamie Forsland's going to hold it. And folks, we are going to overtime here in Tillsonburg. What a crazy 60 minutes. Free hockey at the Thunderdome, folks. Stick around. This is stressful for everybody because this is not only just any other overtime. This is an overtime that can decide a decisive 3-2 lead in the best of 7 Western Ontario Super Hockey League Super Cup Final. Buckle up, batten up the hatches or batten them down, whichever you prefer. Folks, doesn't get any better than this. Abel's ready, Baker's ready, McEwen's ready, we're underway. Overtime here in Tillsonburg. Forsyth, he's going to skate up with it. Austin Forsyth cuts wide, stops, loses it for a second, gets it back. Forsyth drops Barletta, it's in his feet. Can he stay with it? Yes. Pruder takes it away for a second, but Forsyth right on it, spins it, but turned over, look out. Up the wall, here's Pruder, could be a 3-on-3. Whalen off a stick, turned over Van Boekel. Big Jack Van Boekel gets around McEwen, cuts in, cuts wide. Van Boekel turns it over in the corner. He's on his knees trying to make a play on that puck. Whalen on it first in front. Forsyth shoots. He scored! He scored! He scored! Austin Forsyth! The Thunder win in overtime! We got the series lead. We're going back to Alvinston. Austin Forsyth, the hero!
As one of my childhood heroes would say, Bob Cole, hello Canada and hockey fans in the United States and Newfoundland. But for us in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, we welcome everyone watching from wherever you are into Alvinston, the Hive, the BAI, CC Complex, Game 6, Alvinston, Tillsonburg. Thunder lead it 3-2. Our starting goalies for the Thunder, number 35, Matt Sagrot, and making his first start since Game 1 against Stratford, number 31, Mateo Lalama. Keys to the game, Joel. Go ahead, buddy.
So, first of all, obviously, as it has been all series, goaltending. Goaltending will make a difference. Matt Sagrot, riding a hot streak, has been playing solid goal, particularly these last 3 games. Mateo Lalama making his first start since the last round. And in addition, can Alvinston get those big guns going, or will Tillsonburg continue to play an all-around game? And lastly, defense. Without a doubt, if you want to sprinkle in one more, stay out of the box.
Thompson now on the sideboards, pinched off by McLean. He had his first postseason goal on Saturday in Tillsonburg, number 91 for Alvinston.
Real smart play down the ice, not hard enough to be icing, but effective enough to push Tillsonburg all the way back into their end.
Forsyth dumps it in, Lalama out to try and stop it, doesn't. Fitzmaurice can't play it, but it's kept in the zone. Fitzmaurice again, centering shot. Oh, Forsyth trying to go high, reminiscent of his overtime winner, but it fluttered over the net. This one's up the boards to the line, kept in by Forsland. Shot deflected, but Lalama makes the save. Again, faceoff's a big key in this game as well to look at. Giveaway by Alvinston to Forsyth. He gets checked a couple of times. The second one, McGee gets called for. The second one, Forsyth. So here's the situation. I saw it perfectly.
Half power plays basically on 5 penalties in the first period. The Killer Bees have their second power play of the period here with 33 seconds to go.
So the Alveston Killer Bees can really seize a huge momentum kicker going into the intermission if they're able to capitalize on this power play with 33.1 to go in the period.
And they got the right personnel on the ice, if you ask me. McEwen, Feezy,
look at this.
Kruder.
We have a strap issue for Lalama, and he's going to have to come off, I believe. DeConing's going to have to come in for the last 33.1. How about this? High drama here in Alveston as DeConing comes in for Lalama.
Well, it's a good time to get an equipment issue with just 33 seconds to go.
Good point, going into the intermission.
Absolutely, but the Bees want to control this. They got their best personnel on the ice. Let's see if they can create something with 33 seconds to go here.
Face-off going to be controlled. Alveston trying to get the puck. It's to the line. Rebry can't get it out. Sprovero. Rebry going to get it out.
There's that bouncing puck again, Andrew. Bouncing puck, still creating nightmares.
Look out! Thompson, as DeConing gave it away, but is able to get back in the net in time. That was a crazy adventure. We get a penalty, and it's going to go to the Thunder.
A penalty to the Thunder with 2.9 seconds to go, and so we're not going to see much
and
of it
here.
here.
Go to Sheldon Thompson.
It was an icing, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they iced it. That's right, okay.
Yes, so I think that's
so
what
either way,
yeah,
face-off is done, and the Killer Bees are going to have a 5-on-3 for a minute 27
almost
to start the second period.
Almost
and they're going to have to talk about this in the intermission for sure. Best of 7, 3 games to 2. They can either win the Super League Cup title here tonight, or Alveston can force a Game 7 on Friday at the Thunderdome at 8:30. 5-on-3 for a minute 27. Welcome back in, Joel Campbell.
Great to be back here, Andrew. And yes, the Bees with a huge opportunity here, up to almost a minute and a half on the power play, just shy of that, to get the second period started. And after being out-penaltied by quite a bit here, this is a big power play opportunity for one or if not two power play goals faced.
Here comes Fitzmaurice. Up the ice, sends it in. 1:05 left in the power play for the Thunder. This is out of the zone. Barletta not there to keep that puck in. He's pressured though by Chandler and has to come back and now throws it over to Kudo. Kudo into the Alveston zone. Trying to get to the net, can't. He goes down. McGowan plays it ahead. He's got Chandler. It's a 2-on-1. He's got shot scored! Chandler! Short-handed! Alveston on the board first. They lead at 1-0.
Just prior to that goal, I was going to say, I like the pressure Jacob Chandler is putting in on this penalty kill. It was good pressure, playing his men well.
Alveston zone. And it's going to be deflected out by the Killer Bees. We're back to 5-on-5. Killer Bees lead 1-0. Chandler short-handed to open the scoring. Knotts can't get a shot on that. It's to the line. Now it's out. Here comes Feezy. He has a lane. Feezy towards the net. Scores! Brennan Feezy on the backhand with a delayed penalty coming up. Stuffs it in the back of the net. And within a matter of a minute, Alveston has strangleholded this game. It's a 2-0 Killer Bees lead.
And Andrew, you just talked about getting monkeys off your back with Chandler's goal. Well, there's the first one in a few games for the shooting artist of these playoffs, number 89, Brennan Feezy. He'd come out with 2 goals, including one short-handed, and hold a 2-0 lead here, looking to add more if they can get a big face-off win and strike here.
Thank you. This is up the ice, and Sprovero's going to pick it up, play it ahead. It's going to be intercepted, though. Here comes Abraham the other way into the Alveston zone. Goes to the backhand, tries to put it on net, can't. Faulkner's going to play it ahead. Here
there
comes
goes Carson Perry.
Perry. Jamison shoots, scores!
What an exceptional goal, Andrew. Carson Perry's burst of speed, and he finds his old LCCBI classmate and hockey teammate, Josh Jamison, to put the Killer Bees up 3-0. Wow.
8:57 left. Josh Jamison on the pass across from Carson Perry. A beautiful shot.
Thunder aren't allowing the Killer Bees to set up anything. We know the Killer Bees are a team of final second heroics, seen it numerous times, especially in the Stratford series. But 12.3 left with another face-off over to Segrat's blocker side.
Jack Van Boekel backhands it to the line. It's out. 7 seconds left. Into the middle. McQueen trying to get it centered. And that's going to do it. So a little bit of pressure there by the Thunder at the horn, but we go to the intermission after 40 with a 3-0 Alvinston score.
Yeah, and so smartly there, you know the expression, play to the whistle, play to the whistle. It's a good thing that Alvinston continued to play there, played all the way to the whistle.
Let's see if that comes back to bite them or not. But either way, you said it. Most important 20 minutes of their season is right now as we get set for period 3.
That's right. Thus far, they've been playing their style of hockey. 20 more minutes of their style of hockey with smart defensive work and good pressure. And they're going to force that game 7. And here we go in the opening seconds to get period 3 underway.
And also worth noting, too, is we're 5-on-5, which it feels like we haven't been a whole lot of tonight.
There have been a tremendous amount of this hockey game spent on the power play and penalty kill, back and forth, back and forth. That last period, the Bees had 2 90-second 5-on-3 opportunities. I just forgot who, by the defender for the Thunder, because that shot by Feasy was right on target.
33 left in the Alvinston power play here. Perry to Ryland Bowers, shoots, saved by Sagrat. It's loose. This one's going to be fired off of Kudo. It doesn't get out. Centering pass, Feasy can't shoot. Look out. Sheldon Thompson was in behind everybody, couldn't shoot. Sagrat, safe rebound, scores!
Fantastic.
Ryland Bowers power play goal, 16 left in the power play, 4-0 Alvinston.
Fantastic pressure by Alvinston, not giving up on the play there, continuing to play hard throughout the whistle, and by passing it across, they're able to get the puck over. And I think it's number 53, Ryland Bowers, putting it home, right? It wasn't Bowers, it was Bowers?
Ryland Bowers, yeah.
Bowers puts
on the
it
rebound.
Home. Beautiful pressure. I mean, the Bees continuing to press well here and taking advantage. I believe that's their first power play goal of the night. 1 shorthanded, 2 even strength, and now that's their first power play goal.
Against McGowan. He puts it away to McEwen. Now they put it around the other way to Freifogel. Up the boards, he was looking for Pruder, but he couldn't get it to him.
Great idea.
Ben in across the line, off a stick and into the corner. Alvinston has done a really nice job getting sticks and bodies in front of the shots tonight.
Completely agree with you, Andrew.
McGowan all alone scores. Beautiful.
What a play by
Owen
Aiden
McGowan,
Pruder.
no mistake. Scores to make it 5-0 Alvinston.
So Aiden Pruder just goes in and chases that puck, sees the mismatch, waits for the lane to open, makes a beautiful pass to Owen McGowan, who puts it home, no mistake. And with the 4-on-4 opportunity, again, I was just talking about how open ice tends to favor the Bees. They found an opening. Owen McGowan makes no mistake on the pass from Aiden Pruder to put the Bees up 5-0
it's a
now.
beautiful
Fantastic.
Play. It's a beautiful, okay? Tonight is Monday. Game 7 is on Friday. 4 days from now. That's a long time to go in between games, especially 6 and 7. I mean, talk about getting healed guys healed up even more likely with that many days in between games. That's crazy.
Well, it was a really quick turnaround. I mean, Andrew, it's worth noting, right? They just played games 4 and 5 back-to-back on Friday, Saturday. 1 night off in between Sunday, and then they play Monday. 3 games in 4 days. That's quite a turnaround, and then 4 days till then. The question is, what are the teams and their coaching staff going to talk about and work on in those days leading up to Friday if this lead holds?
Centering pass, they score. Spencer Hutchinson, and the shutout bid for Lalama is gone. It's now a 5-1 game.
Good pressure there, again by Tilsonburg on the goal mouth in front of Lalama. Well, and for the record, for people who didn't see the Stratford game, he only lost that game in overtime. That was an incredibly high-pressure game. So
Abraham
he's playing well in his return.
Has the puck in behind the Alvinston net. He's pressured by 3 Bs. Now it's Abraham again. Plays it towards Alama. Stop. Rebound. Score. Fitzmaurice. Short-handed. It's 5-2 with 7:07 to go. Don't turn off your televisions yet.
Still lots of time for hockey here. So Lalama again making a big save, but Tilsonburg keeping that pressure in front of the zone. And the Bees have to buckle down here and go back to that smart defensive puck control. It's okay to keep up the offensive pressure, but the most important thing, you gotta clear that puck out from in front of Mateo Lalama and kill as much clock as you can here in these 7 minutes.
Perry plays it down low. Faulkner in the middle. Perry. Oh, post! Glove hand side. Doesn't beat the post. What a shot from Perry. Sprovero at the line. Shoots. Save. Rebound. Still loose. It's cleared. Freifogel. Fitzmaurice trying to land a hit. Abraham with the hit on the boards.
One. No call. But boy, oh boy, that was one that could have been another penalty.
Jamison again on the other side. Big hit on the board.
They got to call that. Jamison was just hit from behind by two players.
Jamison double teamed on the boards there, and there's going to be a penalty call. Cristo, a couple slashes on Sprovero. They score!
Look at that beauty. Right under the bar and in. So there's anger from Tilsonburg right now. And we got another Bees player down. It looks like Franco Sprovero got hauled down. That puck was directly under the crossbar.
That's wild.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So we got some fog going off and some fireworks going off. It looks like Alvinson's going to get the puck back. They push it down the ice. We'll see. Segrat shoots it down. You know what? If they did know, that's a classy move by Segrat. But they just made a mistake. They took it. Segrat shot it down. They shot it back the other way. And number 18, Chris McGuffin, if they go looking for that puck, McGuffin's the last guy we saw with it. But Andrew, here we are.
Well, and that'll do it from Alvinston. Killer Bees victorious by a score of 6-2. This series is going to 7th heaven.
Okay, guys. So from that, obviously, like I say, great hockey all around in the last 3 games. Again, Tilsonburg winning 3 straight games in the series to take a stranglehold, but then Alvinston with a big victory on home ice in their last home game of the season, giving their Alvinston faithful, who have absolutely shown out in these playoffs, a reason to go home smiling. And again, evening it up at 3s apiece in Game 7 coming tonight at the Thunderdome. So our last update on the top 10 playoff leading scores. As you guys can see here, Brendan Feasy, 46 points in the playoffs, has an outside chance at 50 in the playoffs, which would be absolutely incredible and out of this world type of numbers. 50 in 17 games. That's just unreal, unheard of. Actually, that's very reminiscent of last year's Dylan Denemy with 50 in 18 games played, very close to that, obviously. But again, to put these kind of numbers up in a playoff, just absolutely unreal. James McEwen, 43 points, 3 behind. Franco Sprovero, 22 on defense. Jacob Chandler, 21. Alvinston with 4 in the top 4 there. Mitch Fitzmaurice, the top getter on Tilsonburg. He also has Brandon Kudo there. Fitzmaurice with 17, Kudo with 14. You got Carson Perry, Aiden Pruder down there, also with 14 apiece. And as you guys can see here from our series by the numbers graphics, again, Nolan DeConing 9-5 in the playoffs. Matt Segrat 7-5, but it was Mateo Lalama getting the surprise start in game number 6 and delivering a victory to improve to 1-1. Neither team has announced the starting goalie for game number 7. Obviously, the speculations, you can do that on your own. But again, those are like the goalies have been outstanding all year for both teams, and I expect the same in game 7 as they've been tremendous in this series. Feasy, 46 points, leading all Alvinston skaters in playoff scoring. Fitzmaurice on the other side for the Thunder, 17. But again, a little bit of a rundown here, guys, just as you guys have that graphic up there for you, just want to give you kind of a little bit of an idea of who you might expect in game number 7 tonight. We'll start with the Alvinston Killer Bees on the road. Obviously, the storyline here, Tillsonburg Thunder looking to essentially wrap up their first WOSHL Super League Cup title on home ice tonight in Game 7, a home ice advantage they've earned throughout the course of the season, finishing second in the WOSHL standings, Alvinston fifth. But for Tillsonburg also, they do not want a repeat for the third consecutive year of falling one game short of that WOSHL Super League Cup title and watching the opposing team celebrate on their home ice for a third consecutive postseason. So that is the biggest storyline out of everything here. For the Alvinston Killer Bees, expect much of the same in terms of the lineups that we've seen. For on defense, you have number 5, Owen McGowan, number 10, Bailey Freifogel. You'll see number 13, Josh Tidgewell, number 14, Mike MacArthur, number 17, Ty Johnson, and you'll see probably guaranteed number 23, Franco Sprovero. The wild card in all of this, I guess you could say, is Sam McGee. Obviously, if they're going to go 7 defensemen, which is quite possible. Again, McGowan, Freifogel, Tidgewell, MacArthur, Franco Sprovero, Sam McGee. That would get, and then Ty Johnson again. So the wild cards there: Ty Johnson 17, Sam McGee 62. We'll see what happens there. In terms of the postseason, you have Ty Johnson's played 14 games, Sam McGee 8, and again, it's the defense and the scoring that they've been getting from the defense has been pretty good. Sprovero 22 points in the playoffs, Freifogel 12, McGowan with 10. Then some big goals, obviously, from the blue line. Over on the Tillsonburg side of things, chances are we could expect in game number 7. Again, this all depends on players' availability and injuries. We won't know until the puck drop who's in the lineup, who's not. Again, the question marks I have, obviously, on the Tillsonburg defensive side of things, Mike Finley is a question mark. Anthony Geldart, a question mark. Colton Wyacek, or Wyzek, excuse me. He's a question mark. But then you have Brendan Barletta, Jack Van Bokel, Jamie Forsland, Justin Abraham, Kyle Brzezinski, and Chris Knotts on defense there, making up a very good defensive unit for the Thunder. Again, if they're going strong, look out. Switching to the forward side of things, we'll start with Alvinston on this one. Again, it's generally been the same group of forwards that we've seen. I noticed one major missing on the forward front in game number 6 on Monday for the Killer Bees, and that was number 61, Ethan Lamoureux. So again, we're not sure if we're going to see him in 7. I don't have that insight as of right now. But again, with his absence, it opened up the door for somebody else like Robert McLean. And McLean has played really well sparingly in these playoffs, and in this series especially. So you have, again, Dawson Winchester, Alex Cunningham, Caden Faulkner, Matt Stevens, Aiden Pruder, James McEwen, Rylan Bowers, who's played really well. Ethan Lamoureux, like I say, number 61, Jacob Chandler, 67 for Alvinston, Josh Jameson, number 77, Brendan Feasy, 89, number 91, Robert McLean, and number 93, Carson Perry. Perry with 32 points in the regular season, another 14 in the playoffs, just absolutely unreal. Before I move to the Tillsonburg side of things, want to make a mention as well to this. James McEwen in the regular season, 48 points, another 43 in the playoffs. 91 combined to this point between the postseason and the regular season, just having an unbelievable year for him. And again, that's also in, let me see here, 22 and 16. That's 34 games played. Just that is mind-blowing to me that he has this many points in that few of games. Just remarkable stuff from number 43 of the Alvinston Killer Bees. We switch over to the Tillsonburg side of things. And again, you have, if you look at their roster and the way it's shaped, again, we've had some emergence here from different players, and we've had some regulars sticking through the lineups in the last few games. Braden Auben's been really good for the Thunder in this postseason, 12 points in the playoffs. Mitch Fitzmaurice, great year in the playoffs this year, leading the team in scoring in the playoffs with 17 points. desperately missing Braden Roberts. Not sure of his status for Game 7. Mike Rebry returned in Game 6. He'll probably most likely play in Game 7, the captain of the Thunder. Chris McGuffin, number 18. You have Andrew Tapsell, number 20. Spencer Hutchison, number 21. Andrew Whalen, number 23. Austin Forsythe, 27. He's had a nice postseason, scored some big goals. He's got 5 in the playoffs this year. Sheldon Thompson, number 37. Really good player. Number 55, Curtis Christo, hasn't played much. Did play, however, in game number 6. Not sure of his availability in game 7. Kyle Baker, really nice playoff as well. I thought he had a really good series against Tilbury, and he's continued that in this series against the Alvinson Killer Bees. Brandon Kudo, really, really nice season. He had 35 points in the regular season and another 14 he's put up in the playoffs, including 10 goals. And then Jamie McQueen, I know he's missed a game in this series, but he'll definitely look to slot back in game number 7 and look to rewrite the history that is the Thunder when it comes to trying to clinch a WOSHL Super League Cup title on home ice. So again, it's just so many storylines here, and it's been a really, really fascinating ride to get to this point. The WOSHL Super League Cup is coming down to the very, very, very final game that it could possibly get to. Alvinson Killer Bees, Tillsonburg Thunder, game number 7 coming up tonight at the Thunderdome. Trey Hamilton, John Delaney with the call. They will have it for you live on Sportfeed, courtesy of VMF Sportswear and Apparel, who also sponsor this podcast. I also got to give my tip of the cap, if you will, to the fans in attendance for this series. It has been remarkable, remarkable stuff to be able to behold. I've been down for games 2, 4, and 6 in Alvinston, and the crowds have been tremendous. The crowd was slightly different, slightly lower on Monday, and obviously a weekday game can obviously have that effect. But again, kudos to Alvinston. They have done everything right, and they've had a tremendous, tremendous season to this point, and they have a real opportunity to go into Tillsonburg and win that Super League Cup on the Tillsonburg Thunder ice. For the Thunder, again, tremendous year. It seems like there's always a chance for regression when it comes to teams that have been, essentially built and together for a long time. Haven't seen that with the Thunder. Obviously they kind of stumbled to the finish line in the regular season, but they have turned it on and found another gear here in these playoffs, and have had a tremendous postseason and up until this point. Again, winners of 3 straight to take a stranglehold on the series at 3-2. Obviously didn't get it done on the road. Have a chance now in front of their home faithful to get it done. The other thing about this too, I want to give a quick shout out to 509 Sports Online for covering the WOSHL again this year. They do tremendous work. Darren Stevenson and his crew, kudos to you guys. Just absolutely tiresome work. Then I know you guys are doing a lot right now, and kudos, like I say, and continue to do great work throughout the course of the rest of the year. But again, the great thing is that tonight's game 7 at the Thunderdome will be a sellout. That was announced earlier on Thursday, and it's going to be an electric atmosphere in the Thunderdome, and I can't wait to be down there and to see it all and have it culminate in the end of the season, year 3 in the WOSHL. And good things are coming ahead, and again, this summer should be really interesting to see where the WOSHL goes from here, and can't wait. Can't wait for it. I am Andrew Rogers, the host of the WOSHL podcast. This has been episode number 31, Game 7 preview episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed what I've said about what I've talked about. And I hope you guys are able to enjoy Game 7 that this league will put on for you. It'll be quite a show. Just absolutely phenomenal hockey, and there will be a winner, and someone will be crowned the 2024 WOSHL Super League Cup champion. I'm Andrew Rogers, and this has been the WOSHL podcast presented by VMS Sportswear and Apparel. We'll see you guys next week for the season wrap. Take care, everyone.